Warriors and Guardians kicks off with Nolan doing some work on his bathroom when he gets a call from his new training officer, Detective Nyla Harper, Mikia Cott. She invites him out for a quick drink before their shift the next day at a local bar. When he arrives, a waitress hands him a beer and starts asking questions about his life. That's when he realizes this is his new tooth. Harper gives him a quick rundown on the two kinds of cops out there, Warriors and Guardians, and she makes it clear she only has time for one type. The next day, Bradford is walking to work with Rachel when he finds out it's her birthday. Ken overhears them talking about another date and smirks at her too. During roll call, Gray attempts to introduce Nyla Harper to the squad, but she doesn't seem too interested in playing by his rule. Bradford and Lopez go over to welcome her, but she quickly puts Bradford in check. Later, at the munitions locker, Harper is unimpressed with the gear Nolan picked out. She demands an AR-15 and all the attachments, saying they might need that kind of firepower, even on a regular patrol. She also warns Nolan that being so open with a stranger, like he was the night before, could come back to bite him and that he needs to keep up. Chen asks Bradford what he's planning for Rachel's birthday, but since their relationship is still new, he doesn't think a gift is necessary. Still, Chen manages to guilt trip him into reconsidering. He suggests some baseball memorabilia, but Chen points out Rachel doesn't even like sports. When they respond to an assault call at a hospital, they find two out-of-control social media influencers trying to use a sick child for their own clout. After taking them into custody, Bradford floats the idea of a shooting range date for Rachel, but Chen quickly shoots that down. While out on patrol, Harper keeps reminding Nolan that the rules Gray wants him to follow don't really matter. According to her, they're not stepping out of the car for anything less than a felony. They soon spot a vehicle filled with suspicious-looking people that appears to be stolen, and Harper decides this is the moment to act. They get the suspects out of the car, but after a brief scuffle, one of them takes off. Harper chases after the runner, while Nolan secures the other two in the back of their cruiser before following. He eventually finds the suspect with a broken leg, claiming Harper pushed him. When Nolan confronts her about it, she simply replies, "Criminals lie." Nolan later brings it up with the other rookies, and Chen advises him to trust his gut. He ends up going to Gray's office and reviews Harper's body cam footage. Turns out the guy jumped. After Harper leaves, Gray fills Nolan in. Harper had to be pulled from a high-pressure LAPD task force, and Gray assigned her to Nolan because he believed he had the best chance of surviving her intense personality. Nolan wonders why Harper didn't just show him the footage herself, but Gray reminds him she doesn't report to him. Later, while driving, they spot someone from Harper's past. She quickly changes clothes and decides to go gather intel. She approaches a man named Corkscrew, Jordan Belfi, and things quickly escalate into a fight. Nolan steps in, arrests Harper, and lets Corkscrew go after getting his contact information. On the way back, with Harper sitting in the back seat, Nolan tries to get answers from her, but it escalates until she threatens his badge. During lunch with the rookies, Nolan leaves her in the back of the cruiser, but she manages to break out. Fortunately, Nolan still has Corkscrew's info to protect himself for now. Meanwhile, West and Lopez respond to a troubling scene where a group of teenagers is firing paintballs at unhoused individuals. They try to speak with one of the victims, Alice Sheldon, Samantha Sloyd, but she seems reluctant to share any details. As Lopez heads back to the patrol car, one of the teens casually admits they did it to drive out the less desirable people, claiming they were hurting local property value. Disturbed, Lopez searches the precinct's loft and found to gather some items to bring to Alice as a gesture of kindness. West agrees and contributes some things from his own car as well. When they return, Alice is gone, but she's left behind a photo of Catherine Arnoux, Margot Gignac, a hit-and-run victim who was paralyzed in the accident. This leads them to believe that Alice is actually the fugitive responsible for that crime. They manage to track her down, return the photo, and begin questioning her. Alice admits the truth, and though it's not easy, they take her into custody. They later bring in Katrin, hoping that seeing Alice's broken state will offer some measure of closure, that a decade of guilt and suffering might be punishment enough. Meanwhile, thanks to intel from Corkscrew's phone, the team uncovers his next weapons drop location, giving them a shot at shutting down his pipeline. Ray assigns Chen and Bradford to lead the operation, with Harper and Nolan providing backup. Harper doesn't take the news well and vents her frustration. After the meeting, Bradford pulls Nolan aside to warn him about how unpredictable Harper can be. During the operation, Harper hears the team moving in on the deal, even though the top player, Ozito, hasn't shown up. She wants them to hold off, but Gray overrides her call and gives the green light. Nolan manages to calm Harper down and persuades her not to jump in and risk her career. As they watch the bust unfold, Nolan spots Ozito quietly slipping away from the scene. They tail him to a storage facility, and realizing it's their moment, they grab their heavier gear, ready to take him down. They move in on the storage facility, taking down the first suspect, guarding the entrance. Inside, they find Ozito and two other men at a storage unit packed with firearms. A gunfight breaks out and Nolan is hit, but thankfully his vest takes the impact. Just in time, Chan and Bradford arrive to back them up. Soon after, a helicopter and a fleet of backup vehicles swarm in. The team arrests Ozito and his crew, successfully securing the weapons cache. Back at the precinct, Gray harshly reprimands Harper for how she handled the situation and orders her to apologize to Nolan. He pushes her to open up about her past, but she brushes him off with a fat chant. Meanwhile, Lopez meets with Katrin and apologizes for how things played out, sharing her own experience with a traumatic accident. Katrin sympathizes and agrees to make a statement to help Alice. Later, Bradford stops by Rachel's place to give her a gift, a model airplane they can build together. The episode wraps up with Harper sitting outside a school. She's spotted by a man who confronts her. It's revealed that Harper lost custody of her daughter and isn't allowed to see her, but she's determined to make things right and win her back. What did you think of this episode? Let me know in the comments below.